A few months ago, I posted a video about people who identify as trans species. These are people who don't see themselves as human, but instead as some sort of animal. And at the time, I thought it'll be a handful of perverts masquerading as lunatics and thought nothing else of it. But over the last week or so, I've come across a few posts online of Otherkin. And Otherkin is the collective term for people who do not identify as human. So last night, when Mrs. Disgruntled had gone to bed, I fired up the laptop and thought I'd delve into their world. And it's the most batshit crazy, through the looking glass insanity I've ever experienced. Let's start with plantkin people. Now, plantkins identify as plants, but they're keen to point out they don't actually think they're plants. That would be madness. But what they are instead, apparently, is people who were plants in former lives, or the spirit of plants who've been born as human by accident. They identify as being transgender. Now, we all know there are a few people who are born in the wrong bodies, men who should be women, women who should be men. But I can't get my head around the idea that there's a human being who should have been a fucking rhododendron. And some of their posts explain that keeping houseplants is a form of slavery. Although the thing I wanted to find out that I couldn't find is, what the fuck do these people actually live on? I'm guessing they don't eat food and food like vegetables, because that must be a form of cannibalism. And I doubt they can eat meat, because pigs and cattle, they're reared on grass and vegetables. Unless they're eating meat as some sort of perverse revenge. You killed my carrot brother and sisters, now I'll devour you. Or are these people who seriously go home of an evening, stick on a UV lamp, sit in a Bison's grow bag and pray for photosynthesis? Next, I found a guy online who posted he gets triggered when people breathe near him, because it sucks that they can breathe oxygen and he can't because he's a fish. You're not a fish, you're a dickhead. Then a woman who said that people should not buy birds from pet stores because it's offensive to birdkin, in particular people who identify as birds in pet stores. I mean, if you've decided you're going to be a bird, why not be a condor or an eagle or an albatross or a bird of paradise, rather than going, fuck it, I'm going to be a budgie? And then the weirdest one, and fuck me, there's a lot of weird stuff around the other kinfolk, was a teenage lad who posted that he'd been grounded after he ate his mother's jewellery, but he needs to do it because he's a dragon. I'd be less concerned about being grounded and more concerned about what that's going to do when it tries to get out of your system. Now, clearly these people are all barking mad, and they could easily be cured just by treating them like the animals or whatever it is they are pretending to be. Someone who thinks they're a plant, well, plants need pruning. Offered a couple of their fingers off. A lad who thinks he's a fish, hold his head underwater. He'll soon realise he's much better at breathing oxygen in the air than in the fucking water. Woman who thinks she's a bird, offer to throw her off a tall building, see if she can fly. Dragon lad, I'm not sure. 2 minutes with a hammer, I'm sure I can turn things around. I think what we need to do, though, is because, naturally, kids, when they're very young, they pretend to be different animals. These are people who've had a problem with their development. The simple solution is we need to go back to hitting kids, because that'll make them grow out of it quick enough. 30 years ago, this shit wouldn't have been tolerated. And if you're not comfortable with hitting kids, then hit the fucking parents, because they're the ones who are letting this go on. They're tolerating it. Oh, Tristan says he's a tiger. He's expressing himself. He's not expressing himself, he's being a cunt. But yeah, I hope this is the last time I have to delve into the world of the Otherkin, the only people who could eat a tin of alphabetic spaghetti, and next day their shit would make more sense than they did. Make sure to keep it though, they could use it as fertiliser for the plantkin folk.